Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is our book review. One of the books I got at the library. And I know I said I was going to read Fallen first, but I had a change of plans, so I'll probably read that next. But I did want to review this book. It's called Flow. It's The Cultural Story of Menstruation by Elisa Stein and Susan Kim. I can just say this book is so interesting. I mean, our society thinks that females who get, they get their period is so taboo. But, and you think about it, after you read this, you think about it, it's like, what's the big deal? But, yeah, it just goes back to, the beginning of time and what our society, our Western society, has thought about it. And it's so interesting because, let me find one. It has, old advertisements in here, too, along with, the actual text. But absolutely intriguing to think that, back in, the 30s, and even the 1800s, how it was considered such a dirty thing, and impure, and yes, our society is very sexist toward it, and it's very interesting. It has so many different topics, it's got, the history of, sanitary wear and stuff, and there was also this time, I think it was in the Victorian age, with hysteria, that was this bizarre, there's a chapter on it, this bizarre, illness in women that is very similar to PMS now, but that's not what they called it. They called it hysteria. And, they did, really interesting things to cure them. These bizarre contraptions. And, going into the saloons and doing some things. So, yeah. It's very interesting, yeah. So many things in here. There's so many topics in here that it's crazy. And they have a timeline, too, which is so cool. Because it's they had some really weird contraptions, before disposable pads and tampons were available. What the women used is so weird. And it's just interesting how, also in advertising, the ads are not portrayed realistically. They're all about, being in fields of flowers and being fresh and clean. Having a period is something dirty and to be disgusted. So, yeah, this is a really eye-opening book. I give it a 5 out of 5. Even, this might seem like it's geared toward women, but men might find it just as interesting. And it talks about in here about, birth control and how you can, nowadays, how you can stop having your period altogether. Which is weird. I don't know why you would want to do that, though. Because why would you want to mess up with your body? And it goes, through menopause and stuff, too, which, what doctors and, people thought, at the beginning of the 1900s is so weird. Really? So, yeah, this book is just, and they have the humorous pictures, too. So, yeah, I just think this book is filled with information. I read it in a day. I was going to read Fallen, but this one, I was just so intrigued by it. So, yeah. And looking at the old advertisements and the parts of the booklets that you would get when you're a girl, and it's just so interesting. So, yeah. I know this is kind of a weird and odd book to read, but yeah, I thought it was so interesting. My sister was so embarrassed when she was with me. When I checked out the library, she's like, you need to put that away. I'm like, why? Nothing to be embarrassed about, so. If you have any comments, definitely post them below. Let me know what you think on why do you think our society is so ashamed of it when it's actually, here's an interesting fact. We're one of the few animals that actually do go through periods. Dogs and cats go into heat, but if you look at the hormones and everything that goes on into human bodies during that time, it's not the same. I think it's humans and apes and another ant mammal goes through it, but actually blades of a month. But yeah, because some animals it it'll happen, but it'll absorb itself back into the body. So Very interesting. Nothing to be ashamed of at all. Yeah. And this book does have like a feminist undertone to it, which makes sense. But it's so interesting. I could not put this book down. So it's called Flow, The Cultural Story of Menstruation. Thanks for watching, and I promise, well, I'm not promising anything. I might do a book review of Fallen if I get around to reading it. I don't know. Because I did get 2 library books today, which I can show you this, too. This is Anne Frank, Her Life in Words and Pictures. Anne Frank is so awesome. And this has got some pictures in it I haven't seen. Like, there's like actual pictures of her diary and childhood pictures, so. Yeah, and then I got The Forest and Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan, because a lot of people I've watched have read this, and when I see it, I pick it up. So, that's my review for Flow and what I got at the library, and thanks for watching.